Hi, we are Mar Segarra, Mar Prieto, and Belén Pla, and we are going to explain you Chapter 3 and Chapter 4 of The Rational Animal.
Chapter 3. All the outcomes of our life, no matter their failures or successes, involve other people. As a matter of fact, life is a series of negotiations where everything can turn around at any moment. These mediations are ruled by game theory, logical decision making for messy choices. The prisoner's dilemma. You could either cooperate or defect. Defecting is more rational because it gives you a better play of regarding your partner's decisions. In spite of that, humans don't always behave rationally. There's a set of rules depending on who you are playing with. Depending on the other player's genetic connection with you, you choose the kinship game or the marketing pricing. It's important to have in mind that subselves that make these decisions are flexible and can change in order to fit social context, situations. The kinship game is based on the inclusive fitness. In other words, evolutionary favors behavior that help pass on its genes. By those means, helping a genetic relative is equivalent to helping yourself. However, it is important to understand that guidance and support is inconsistent with all the genetic relatives. More genetic connections means more help. This is really easy explained. Genetic relationships are ruled by positive sum game. That is, you can win by losing. However, non-genetic relationships are led by the zero-sum game. You try to avoid being the sucker.
Moreover, there are a series of differences depending on who you are playing with. Between close friends appears the communal sharing. Give what you can, take what you need. As well, with friends, we found equally matching. There is a fair distribution, 50-50. However, if they don't receive what they give, causing an imbalance, there is a negative exchange. Finally, between people in different positions, there is a system of authority ranking. To win, you have benefits and costs, depending on your status. On the other hand, marketing pricing is played by strangers in view of the fact that there is no trust between the individuals. Therefore, there is a need to compare the values of everything in order to have a fair business. The players try to get as much as possible, giving as little in return. Nevertheless, playing this game with people from your close circle will not only lead you to being alone, but it's also an indicator of sociopathy, challenging natural selection because this one benefits groups. Chapter 4. An evolutionary perspective stresses that many biases stem from adaptive tendencies that helped our ancestors solve evolutionary problems. We humans are born to be biased and make some kinds of errors and not others. Also, the fact that natural selection endowed us with brains that intentionally are biased has made us see and hear the world inaccurate.
These intentional errors function as an advanced warning system managed by the self-protection subself. Biases like the smoke detector will make us aware of the dancers and minimize costly errors. When we are not aware of these dancers, what will happen is a miss that is much more costlier than a false alarm. An example of the false alarm will be the auditory loaming, the bias to sense that approaching sounds are going to arrive sooner than they really are. Other type of bias that will enable us to pass our genes to next generations is, for example, the overconfidence bias. This bias is about being optimistic about your chances of winning. As the more competent you are, more opportunities you will have. Furthermore, to be able to pass your genes to next generations, you should be able to produce an array of responses designed to help to protect from infection, and this is called the physical immune system. Before this happens, our sense will detect something or someone that looks or sounds strange. Our disease avoidance subself would make sure that our behavior changes accordingly, and this is known as the behavioral system. We relate bias with things that we should avoid and instead try to be accurate. But the reality is that our mind evolved to be biased and predict a specific type of errors and decisions.
Finally, we will show you 2 questions that we would like to ask to the author. We hope that you want to read this book. Thanks for your time.